And let me put it this way, all of us are open source people and people who believe in openness. So we just couldn't do something like hiding stuff away. It's going to be Linux. You're going to be able to program it as you are able to program Txtr.com right now, which has an API that can be used from the very beginning. And the same is going to be true for the software on the device.
Are you going to supply an SDK? And if yes, what kind of Linux kernel is your device going to be built on?
I can't tell you much about the kernel right now because I'm not doing the Linux stuff. The Linux guys could give you more information on that. There is going to be an SDK, and the kernel is probably going to be recent. I can't.
Yeah, thank you very much. I guess a lot of people at Mobileread are going to be very happy about the fact that you're going to get a SDK right from the beginning, because IREX did supply an SDK, but it was a long battle. It took, I don't know, 2.5 years until they had all their sources out, and it was always delays. And people had long hacked the system and managed to do applications for it before they finally started posting their sources. So, they already found the back way in before IREX opened the front gate. So, well, you can argue about how much sense that makes, but never mind.
From our perspective, it didn't make any sense because they had the early adopter device out there, and you want to open early adopter devices for developers. You can't lose anything there. So we just didn't understand why they did this.
Okay, we already spoke about that before we started the interview, so let's do it again for the record. Format support. Just tell us what you are planning, what you have in right from the start, and what you may or might not put in later on.
Okay. So there is going to be support for EPUB, which is our preferred format because you can change font sizes and stuff like that, and it's reflowable. There is going to be support for PDF, which is going to be as good as you can do it. PDF is always a bit difficult. There is going to be obviously support for HTML and plain text and RTF probably. The Office formats like Word and PowerPoint are important to us because Txtr.com is supporting them. It's probably a bit harder to do them. I can't promise we will make this till fall, but it's going to be there, and if we don't make it, you can always add support faster than us. That might be possible.
So at the moment, MobiPocket is not planned, but as you said before, it might yet happen.
That might yet happen. MobiPocket is always difficult because, as you know, it now belongs to Amazon, and I think it's you can say they're not actually very open to supporting other devices right now. So it's they're putting up a good fight in keeping their documentation closed and stuff, and we're talking to them. Let's see what happens. We want to support MobiPocket, obviously.
Yeah, we just had our own little run-in with Amazon at Mobileread over a script that actually doesn't really do anything bad, but apparently Amazon thinks differently. You can read it up on the net. It's a very interesting topic right now. Okay, so if I understood correctly, your Txtr.com platform is going to be a place where you can not only share your own texts, but maybe at one point or another also buy commercial books. Tell us a bit more about this.
Txtr.com is the place where you get your content from. So you can always get the content to the device via USB or Wi-Fi or SD card if you like. But after you've seen Txtr.com, you probably will find you don't want to do this anymore because it's just so much easier to just collect the content on Txtr.com and have the device as a window for Txtr.com. So you look at the device and you're seeing all the content that is in your account at Txtr.com. So you can manage and organize all your text on Txtr.com and read them on a dedicated reader device. That's pretty much the idea.
So if I understood correctly, you're going to try and do something similar to Wizpac that Amazon uses, with having basically a mobile phone card in the device. What are your plans where price plan and flat rate or anything like that is concerned?
Nothing is decided yet, but one thing, we won't force you into anything. So you can buy the device plain. You will probably have a chance of testing the Wizpac-like functionality. And you can then upgrade to use it with a flat rate or a prepaid model, but nothing's decided yet on that thing.
So basically the idea is to take any mobile phone card, pop it into the device, and then you can use it like that, or do you have to have a special Wizpac sanctified card that has then a special contract with you basically over some mobile provider?
It's going to be it's going to come with a SIM card pre-installed that you can just use. So you don't do any additional contracts with O2 or your mobile phone operator in your country. So at least in Germany, it's coming with a SIM card pre-installed, and it just works. But that's what we're planning for.
Okay, that's very nice. About the content, we already spoke about that at the beginning of the interview. Do you have any idea whatsoever where pricing models are concerned?
It's a difficult question, especially in Germany, where we have Buchpreisbindung, as you know, and we're at the booth of the Börsenverein, which holds that digital books are books and are bound to Buchpreisbindung, which means they're going to cost as much as the paper version is going to cost. You can hear from the way I put this that I don't fully agree with that position, but that's the facts with the right holders. And we'll have to see how the market develops and what new models develop there. I don't think there will be a constant. They won't be trying to simulate that electronic books are paper books for a very long time, because it just doesn't add up to the concept.
It's probably going to be like the music industry. They also thought at first that they have to charge maybe even a premium if you are allowed to download their music instead of buying it on a CD, but probably in the end they will have to realize that it won't work. Okay, basically final question for now. You give a sort of vague release date on your website, third quarter of 2009. I don't know whether it's still accurate. And you don't give any information whatsoever about pricing. Can you tell us anything new?
I'm not sure if I can tell you anything new. It's going to be priced competitively. So, the Sony reader is starting with 300 euros now. We're not sure we're going to be at that 300 euro price tag. It's not going to be very much more. So, but that's something. It's not that we don't want to tell you. We just don't know. There's a lot of manufacturing set up to be done now. We're going to put this into production now, and we just don't know our cost structure. So that's probably all I can tell you about this. And the release date, concerning the release date, we're going to make it in 2009, and fall is the sporty announcement. So, but we're going to do it in 2009.
So let's hope that promise holds better than the release dates of IRIX. We had a lot of fun with those in the past.
All of the other manufacturers, if you know the Chinese manufacturers like Jinky, they're announcing a new device all 2 weeks or so, and they're not very.
They don't ever sell them, actually.
Yeah, there's always that. It's a tricky business because you have so much setup to do, and Sony is the only big consumer electronics player in that market up till now, and the small players have a tougher job to do because the sourcing for the components is just so much more difficult when you're small.
Yeah, of course. So thank you very much for the interview. Oh, one last question pops to mind. Firmware updates. How are they going to be managed? Are they going to work via your, let's say, Wizpac equivalent, or are they going to work via the computer with USB or something?
There are concepts we're going to have to figure out what is going to be possible. Of course, we want to do it via the mobile connection. But you don't want to break things via mobile, so we're going to be very sure that this actually works before we test it out. There will be, of course, always a possibility to do it via USB, and we will have, as an open system, very, very elaborate debricking capabilities, so you can't break your device.